The classic pitch for a luxury watch is appealingly simple. You spend a significant amount of money once, you acquire a permanent piece of mechanical art, and you pass it down to the next generation. However, the initial sticker price you pay at the dealer is rarely the total cost of ownership. Buying a mechanical timepiece means committing to the hidden, ongoing financial requirements of its internal engine. Buyers are immediately faced with a strict trade-off. To wear the prestige and heritage of a traditional mechanical brand on your wrist, you have to accept the financial and logistical burden of mandatory, specialized maintenance. This quadrant chart plots asset value retention against ownership effort to map the reality of the market. Asset value retention measures a physical item's ability to maintain or increase its original purchase price on the secondary market over time. Based on these two metrics, buyers typically fall into three distinct profiles: the legacy investor, the value optimizer, and the entry-level enthusiast. Failing to understand where a specific watch sits on this matrix causes serious problems. Buyers frequently fall into danger zones, where they either lose thousands of dollars to rapid depreciation the moment they leave the store, or they get hit with unexpected, exorbitant repair bills a few years down the line. Purchasing a high-end watch is an active adoption of a specific, long-term financial and lifestyle ecosystem. You need to choose the one you can actually tolerate. We start at the top tier with the legacy investor. This bracket is dominated by a very narrow set of historical giants, primarily Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Audemars Piguet. These specific manufacturers are the exception to the rule of mechanical depreciation. Iconic steel models from these brands hold their original retail value and frequently appreciate on the secondary market. Look at the Rolex Submariner or the Daytona. They combine extreme physical durability with a hyperinflated resale demand, making them highly liquid physical assets. This brand equity grew from decades of professional-grade engineering, where these tools served as required equipment for deep-sea diving and military aviation. The trade-off for securing this level of heritage is steep. You will either battle severe retail unavailability and multi-year waitlists, or you will be forced to pay massive upfront premiums to gray market dealers. At this level, you are essentially purchasing a complex financial instrument wrapped in historical steel. That financial security dictates its incredibly high barrier to entry. Regardless of a brand's prestige or secondary market value, owning any automatic or manual timepiece comes with an inescapable physical catch. Inside the case, hundreds of microcomponents operate under constant friction. The specialized oils required to keep them moving smoothly eventually dry up, meaning the watch requires mandatory disassembly, cleaning, and relubrication every 3 to 7 years. This maintenance exacts a harsh financial toll. Routine servicing can cost anywhere from several hundred to over $1,000, and the factory will often keep your watch for months at a time. For the value optimizer, there is an alternative to this headache: Grand Seiko's high-end 9F quartz and spring drive movements. Spring drive is a proprietary Japanese technology that uses a mechanical gear train regulated by an electromagnetic brake for extreme accuracy. This comparison table pits the 20-year cost of a mechanical automatic against high-end quartz. While mechanical costs mount with every 5-year service interval, the high-end quartz requires only cheap, localized battery changes, offering superior timekeeping precision with drastically lower lifetime maintenance. The trade-off here is entirely cultural. Prioritizing technical superiority and low maintenance means sacrificing the traditional purist appeal of a fully mechanical escapement. The escapement is the tiny regulating mechanism that physically controls the release of energy to produce a watch's ticking motion. For the time-poor buyer, the ultimate utility lies in flawless technological mastery that refuses to demand constant financial babysitting. Stepping out of the legacy hype cycle reveals the accessible luxury market. Brands like Tudor, specifically with their Black Bay and Pelagos lines, serve as highly capable alternatives to their sister company, Rolex. These models deliver luxury-adjacent build quality and highly robust internal movements, but they do so at a fraction of the legacy cost and without the agonizing waitlists. Alternatively, you can bypass complex mechanics entirely by optimizing for enduring aesthetic design. The Cartier tank provides over a century of proving stylistic permanence, offering immediate visual recognition without the mechanical overhead. If you want to bridge the gap between iconic aesthetic design and monumental historical significance, you look to the Omega Speedmaster. Its reputation as the Moonwatch is anchored entirely in its documented success surviving NASA's strenuous engineering tests during the Apollo program. Finally, we drop into the true entry-level bracket. This is the territory of the Hamilton Cocky Field. It provides immense practical value in the sub-$1,000 range. It pairs classic military durability with modern upgrades like an 80-hour power reserve. A power reserve dictates exactly how many hours a fully wound mainspring will keep the watch running while off the wrist. Horological value comes from maximizing functional return and stylistic permanence within a specific budget. This flowchart outlines a definitive decision framework based on your primary horological goal, splitting into 3 paths: financial asset and heritage, daily durability and tech, and entry-level value. Following the legacy investor path confirms that achieving near-zero depreciation requires high initial capital. You must be completely willing to fund the expensive maintenance ecosystem that keeps a Rolex, Patek, or AP running. If you take the time-poor optimizer path, Grand Seiko, Tudor, and Omega offer peak technological finishing and robust durability. You get the quality without paying the inflated hype tax of the tier above. And for the budget-conscious enthusiast, the Hamilton Cocky Field stands as the definitive, anxiety-free starting line for earning real mechanical credibility. Outside of a very select few heritage icons, severe depreciation is the absolute standard for luxury watches. They are depreciating machines, not savings accounts. Buy a timepiece because you genuinely want the experience of wearing it on your wrist every day. But do it only after you have mathematically prepared for the reality of what it demands.